Hey, grab a can of root beer, because we're going to make you laugh until it comes out your nose.
Oh, yeah.
What's so funny? Find out today on ZiNj-TV.
Ever since humans learned how to talk, we've been telling funny stories, jokes, and making fun of things. We love to laugh because it makes us feel good. No matter who we are or where we were born, humor is part of what makes us human. Notice how both words start with the same 3 letters? But who decides what is funny? Why are the jokes your parents laugh at kind of lame? How come they don't get your jokes? Why do some people laugh when you're trying to be serious? Are there different kinds of humor? Let's go out on ZiNj Patrol and get some answers.
Do you have a class clown in your class?
Yeah.
What does he or she do to make you laugh?
He dances and makes us laugh and stuff.
What does a girl volcano say to a boy volcano?
I don't know.
I lava you, I lava you. Why did the rabbit cross the road?
I don't know.
Because it was Chicken's Day Off.
The teacher asked the class, who can make a sentence out of green, pink, and yellow? And nobody answered except one little boy, and he stood up, and the teacher said, okay, go ahead. And he said, the phone go ring, ding, I pink it up, and I say, yellow.
He just bounces around all the time and makes the day brighter.
Do you have a class clown in your class?
Yeah, I do.
I have to say me.
You? What do you do that's so funny?
Just always clown around. Would you like getting rid of all the class clowns, or would you don't mind?
Oh, no, I enjoy the humor sometimes. It's the unexpected sometimes makes me angry when perhaps they jump up on the table and dance. But, you know, as long as it's harmless play, then I enjoy it.
Telling a good joke can be lots of fun. But have you ever wondered why tickling makes you laugh? Well, let's go in search of the funny bone.
Dr. Schmidt, why exactly do people laugh?
Well, I think it's because they find things funny. Laughter is an expression of an emotion.
So why do some people laugh absolutely uncontrollably when they're tickled?
I suspect just like just about any other kind of emotion or characteristic about our bodies, there's a variation in everything. Some people you have to tickle them for an hour before you get them to laugh, and others you don't. You just look at them.
I've heard that there are several cases of people who have these just horrendous terminal diseases, and what they do is they'll watch hilarious movies, slapstick comedy, and they'll read really funny books, and their condition will actually improve. Why is that?
People who are around sick people have noticed that for a long time, probably centuries. Nobody has been able to yet figure out exactly what it is, though. There appears to be chemicals, one that they've discovered is called endorphins, that seem to, when triggered, help the immune system. That makes the immune system in the body get rid of illness quicker.
So why is laughter important to a person's health?
There is a neurological release of chemicals that seem to open the blood vessels. The muscles, of course, tighten up. And we know that exercise releases these same chemicals. And your mind and the muscles in the head and certain parts of the body relax.
What happens to your diaphragm and voice box when you laugh?
Well, the diaphragm is the muscle at the bottom of the stomach that tightens. And as it tightens, it pulls the lungs down, and that allows you to take a breath in. And so as it's moving up and down, that makes the air go in and out with the laughter or with breathing. And of course the vocal cords control how the air comes out as the diaphragm moves. And so the two work together to make us talk, make us laugh, any kind of communication.
Why is laughter so much fun?
I don't know. But it's sure fun to do, I have to agree. I'm enjoying it now.
Later, we're going to show you how laughter really is the best medicine. Hang in there.
As a pro football player, I'm always looking out for risks. But as a father, it's difficult to protect my kids from dangers I can't see. Meningitis is an invisible threat that can cause severe brain damage and even death. There are many forms of it, but you won't see any of them coming. I know. My son had meningitis as a baby. So how can you stop what you can't see? One thing you can do is have your child immunized. If you're having a baby or have a child under 2, contact your healthcare provider for more information about vaccinating your child against meningitis.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Carter. Every 5 seconds, someone in our world goes blind. And in the next 15 years, the number of blind people could double to 75 million. Yet 80% of blindness is preventable. Lions clubs in your community are leading the fight against blindness through campaign Sight First 2, which aims to save the vision of 37 million people. As a Lion, I urge you to support your local Lions club. Vision improves lives. Save sight through campaign Sight First 2.
Well, that's one way to get a good laugh. But to be really funny, you need to know a lot of ways to make people laugh. And if you're good enough, they'll even pay you to do it too. Just like this guy.
How do you stop a bull from charging? Take away its credit card. How come your nose isn't 12 inches long? Because then it'd be a foot. All right. Well, you guys are here today to learn about humor. Does anybody have any questions you want to ask? Yeah, what?
Hey, Johnny, how'd you get started?
How'd I get started? Well, I was always kind of funny, and I heard that they had a contest, you know, to find funny people, and I just went down and tried it, and it went pretty good for me. So that's how I get started. Anybody else have a question?
Did you always know you were funny?
Yeah. You know people are funny, don't you? You just go, ah, you're funny. Another big joke, another couple of big jokes, okay? Here you go. What did San Francisco say to Los Angeles after the earthquake? It wasn't my fault. What's the surest way to get into the circus? Buy a ticket. Anybody else have a question? Yeah.
How do you know your jokes will be funny?
I don't. That's the scary part, you know. You just have to, like, try a joke. Sometimes it's going to be funny, sometimes it's not. So, like, if you have a joke, you know, just tell a bunch of friends, and if a lot of them laugh at it, then it's a good joke, huh? Okay, one more question, maybe. Yeah.
Can anyone be funny?
Can anyone be funny? Yeah, I think so. I think if you learn a few simple things about comedy and humor and jokes, anyone can be funny. In fact, would somebody like to come up and try? Would somebody like to come up and maybe try and be funny on stage, huh? How about you in the red sweater? Bring her up here. Give her a big hand. She's going to come up here. Oh. Okay. All right. And your name is?
Rachel Sterling.
And how old are you?
I'm 9.
And do you think you're funny?
I don't know.
Well, I think you're funny looking. See, that's good. I'm just kidding. You're not funny looking. Not that funny looking. All right. Well, I think that anyone can learn how to be funny, and I'm going to tell you just a few simple ways, okay? One of the easiest ways to be funny is humorous quotes. Now, you know what a quote is, right? Something that somebody said? Well, you just take a quote, and you just say it a little differently. So you say, like, oh, a bird in the hand is better than 2 in your nose. Another way to be funny is you say 3 things, okay? You make a list of 3 things. The first 2 are right, and the last one is wrong, okay? So you say, you know, there's 3 things to having a happy life that are important. Good friends, family, and lots of money. Like a play on words, you know what a play on words is? Where you kind of make words funny, or maybe a pun, like this joke. Have you heard this joke? Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. 7, 8. There's another way to be funny. You just take things that people say literally. Do you know what that means? You take them for the exact meaning that they say. So, like, you've heard this joke. This is an old classic joke. You say, hey, I just flew in from Chicago, and boy, are my arms tired. And then the last simple, easy way to be funny is to tell jokes, or we call them like one-liners with just a setup and a punchline. Setup and a punchline. So the setup is, how do you keep a bull from charging? The punchline is, take away his credit card. Okay, well, why don't you try and tell a few jokes, okay? Here. Okay, try that one.
What do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back?
What?
A stick. Why isn't your nose 12 inches long? Because then it would be a foot. Why do witches ride brooms? Because vacuums are too hard to steer.
Give her a big hand. Come on, Doug. Rachel. And you guys are funny, too.
There are a lot of different ways of being funny. But there's one that we see a lot. It's called satire. What's that? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, let's go almost live to our ZiNj reporter, Chris Nyhart. Chris, what's up?
Well, Isaac, the crowd has apparently cornered some strange-looking creature. Wow, the mighty nerdy Power Rangers just arrived in the nick of time.
What the heck is a parody? A colorful bird that can talk. B, a dance done in France. Or C, imitating someone or something to make them look ridiculous.
Horseradish. Is that for horses? Remember me, Mr. Lobster? From last Tuesday? Banana. Banana. Banana! Here comes the rain. We need a hat. And why do we need a hat?
It's ZiNj.
That's right.
When you talk with your child, you build vocabulary, and learning starts long before school does. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org.
Jenny! Jenny, dear! Don't forget my dress for the fashion show! We want to look my best now! Jenny, Jenny, we started our book report. Here's the cover.
Yeah, now all we need is a beginning,
a middle,
and an end.
Jenny! Jenny, Jenny, Jenny!
Hi, honey. Dad called and he said...
Are you feeling blue? What's wrong with being blue?
Well, where should I start?
If you're a teen dealing with stress, there's help. Visit the Will Rogers Institute website for a free booklet about teen stress and how you can de-stress your life.
Right.
For your free booklet on teen stress, visit the Will Rogers Institute website at wrinstitute.org or call toll-free 877-957-7575.
How do you de-stress your life? Like this.
Really is the best medicine.
Okay, Rachel, thank you for joining us and taking some time out of your work to answer some questions for us. So, how does humor make you healthier?
If you manage to just find things that can help you to laugh and relax you a little bit, that when the body relaxes, things are easier in many ways.
Is there any one kind of humor that you use here at the hospital that you find more rewarding to the patient?
It just depends on how people receive and think about humor. and it depends on the person and the people's styles. That some kids may find the nurse that puts silly things on their head a very funny person, and that might really help them get through taking their medicine and getting better. Other people might not find that funny at all and would say, leave me alone, I'm miserable, that doesn't help. And that person might be the person that needs to hear, okay, you're going to be miserable, just be miserable, this is a hospital, remember to be miserable. And then they go, wait a minute. And that might be the humor that works for them. I've seen kids who haven't laughed for days and days and days, and then suddenly I have found the right thing. Like the bubbles that I wear around my neck. And they'll say, this kid is, we're not getting anything from this child, and I'm not sure what's happening. And I will talk, and I'll read stories, and I'll figure things out. And then I'll say, well, maybe today I'll try the bubbles, and you pull them out, and you blow them. And a small child, even a baby, who doesn't quite yet know why things are funny, but is looking, and that might be the thing that breaks it, and that's very helpful. And there is an example of one kind of humor that works with lots of the kids. We have a clown, his name is Scobo, who works in our hospital. He comes once a week, and he does a television show that goes all across the hospital. He may do bingo or hangman, and sometimes there may be a child really ill in the intensive care unit who hasn't been waking up much or hasn't been interacting much. But when they hear that Scobo's going to be on, that's the day that they finally start feeling better, and they get up and turn on that TV show. That's an example of one kind of humor that's really helpful for us in the hospital.
Okay. Hey, Mike. How's it going today? Good. Hey, we're going to be playing Christmas bingo today down in the playroom. You want to come join us? You can't? Okay, I tell you what, we have an option for you. We also do it on closed-circuit TV on Channel 3. Okay, so someone's coming by with some bingo cards, so you can still play and still win some of those good prizes, all right?
All right.
Okay. I'll come back and make sure you get some, all right?
All right.
Cool.
Since we're at a hospital, do you have a recommended dosage of humor that you give to your patients?
Absolutely. I think that the recommended dosage is that which your body can tolerate. Sometimes if you have an operation, say, and you have surgery on your stomach, it can be awfully hard to laugh, so be really careful not to take too much because it'll hurt so bad it won't be so easy to get better. Others, they may be feeling so miserable that maybe if we can really get them laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing, it might really help at least once a day. And maybe how about, like, my doctor's orders would be 1 time per day or up to 25 laughs a day.
Vance! How you doing, bud? Are you gonna stick around? Are you gonna stick and play? Oh, cool. We had our picture taken today, and now you're gonna play bingo again? That's right.
I know your name.
You do.
Snowball.
Snowball. That works for me. That works for me. Give me 5? Yeah. You want a hug? Would you give me a hug? Sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks, Ben. All right, we'll see ya. Okay, there we go. All right. It is difficult seeing the kids in the situation, but you have to remember that they're kids. And treat them like that. Otherwise, you know, if you get sad with them, it just helps them focus on the illness or whatever. But if you can get them to smile or whatever, that starts the, you know, the good juices going, the endorphins and all that good stuff.
You may perhaps have heard of the word endorphins, and that's something that passes through our brain. And I've been told that laughter sparks the endorphins that then help the body. Like I was saying to you, how humor can help one to relax. So there are some changes that actually happen with the body, and I think that, and I'm not a neurologist, so it's hard for me to tell you from that standpoint, but I do believe that there's association with the brain. If we can laugh, our body gets looser. That definitely helps us to feel better.
Oh my gosh, well, what you trying to do, get down there ahead of me? Are you trying to get down there ahead of me? You gonna go down the playroom? Okay, we'll see you down there. We'll get some bingo prizes won, right? I do see kids in a good environment with happy parents and stuff like that get better a lot quicker than those who might be in a little less positive environment. So I would have to say that humor does help the kids. And then we've even got some friends in outpatient who are watching and playing with us, and we want you to play with us. Okay, and we have another friend who just joined us. What's your name again? Amberlynn, isn't it? Okay, Amberlynn, you want to look at the camera right there and look at TV. You're on TV. Can you wave? Good job, yeah. All right, this is cool. We're going to play bingo and we're going to win prizes. Toy store under the letter B, and it's getting to be chaos in here. This is the way we like it. Amber, did you get it? Under the letter N, we have bells. Bells. Did you get it? Yeah, bells under the letter N. Did you get it again, Amber? Whoa, that's good. Hey, Peter, did you get it?
And we visited a little boy named Tony who had been burned over most of his body and was missing fingers and stuff like that. And we got him to laugh and smile. And blood started going down the side of his mask. And I'm going, oh, no, I've killed him. And the therapist came up to me and said, no, this is what has to happen.
We have a toy soldier right here, and he goes under the letter N. Okay, so let's put the toy soldier under the letter N. Under the letter O, we have a star. A star under the letter O. Melissa got bingo! Yay! Charlie got bingo! Looks like Natalie got bingo. Caleb got bingo. Oh my gosh! Saida got bingo. David got bingo. Amberly got bingo. Adam got bingo. Oh my goodness! I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing. Your very own teddy bear. All right. And of course, the Christmas mouse. All right. There you go. So you were in ICU last time? Cool. See, that's what I like to see. I like to see the kids come from ICU up to here and then get out of here, right? I think the caring type clown is probably the toughest, but it's the most rewarding also. I mean, I clowned full-time and got paid very well, but I would 10 times rather do this. And this is about all I do now. I do a birthday party now and then, but this is my true love. This is my true love. Yeah. You want a hug? Would you give me a hug? Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks, baby.
Dimes are shiny and round. Nickels are also round. Dollars are not round. Dollars are rectangles. What can I buy with 2 rectangles?
A bus ride.
You're right. Good job, honey.
When you talk with your child, you build vocabulary, and learning starts long before school does. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org.
As a pro football player, I'm always looking out for risks. But as a father, it's difficult to protect my kids from dangers I can't see. Meningitis is an invisible threat that can cause severe brain damage and even death. There are many forms of it, but you won't see any of them coming. I know. My son had meningitis as a baby. So how can you stop what you can't see? One thing you can do is have your child immunized. If you're having a baby or have a child under 2, contact your healthcare provider for more information about vaccinating your child against meningitis.
Every day, computers help our lives and businesses run smoothly. And every day, they're potential targets. Viruses, spyware, and scams are relentlessly being updated, making it easier for hackers and thieves to steal information and control your computer. Protect yourself. Get in the habit of keeping your cybersecurity up to date. Learn how at StaySafeOnline.org today.
If all the people who fall asleep during church services relate end to end, they'd be much more comfortable.
Humor can be found in almost any part of the world. In fact, there are funny jokes and stories in every culture. I guess everyone likes a good laugh.
Hi. Guess what? I got a letter from my sister. You know where she is? She's in Africa. She's right outside of South Africa, outside of the capital where Mandela's president. She's teaching in a little school that's way out in the sticks. Let's see what this letter says. Uh-oh. Bad weather. She says so hot that the lake dried up and the women didn't have to cook because the fishermen caught fried fish. The sun popped a whole field of corn. A mule saw the ground all white, and he lay down and froze to death. Uh-oh, bad news. It started raining. She said rain so hard the people had to jump into the river to keep from drowning. Oh, the thunder clapped so hard that people are still saying, "What you say? What you say?" She said, one day the wind blew so hard, it blew the hair off a man's head and all the feathers off the chickens. Uh-oh, now it's cold. It got so cold, when our son went outside, his shadow froze. Everybody thought it was a snowman with a coat on. The duck pond froze over, but the ducks flapped so hard that they flew south in a frozen pond with fish and all. Well, she said here, "Dear sister, I don't know how long I can stay in a place where it is so cold and so hot, and I cannot have a car. So, if you see me flying past your window, you will know that the wind just blew me up to the United States and right into Salt Lake City. I love you. Hope to see you again. Your sister, ZiNj-TV."
My grandmother told stories which we called night stories. The coyote was always the prominent figure. He was sometimes the boogeyman, the trickster, and in modern days you might call him the con man. I'm going to relate a short night story that depicts one of his downfalls. Coyote and his brothers were traveling along the mountains, the northern plains, and as they came to a large embankment, a steep cliff, they can look over and see scraps of food that was left by the powwow group the night before. So they sat down. There was no way of getting down the sheer cliff, so they sat down and decided to think of how they could handle this problem. And one of the coyotes, the brothers, jumped up and said, "I know, let's make a coyote chain by holding each other's tails in our mouths." Great idea, they thought. So they began to form a chain and climb over the cliff one by one. This was going well until all of a sudden one of the coyotes in the middle said out loud, "What stinks?" he says. "Someone forgot to wash their feet this morning." And they all broke into laughter, as a result letting go of the tails and falling to the bottom of the pit.
You know, the only one we haven't heard from today is ZiNj himself.
Oh, there's one problem with that.
What's that?
See, ZiNj is just barely learning how to talk.
Uh-huh.
And he needs everyone to help him come up with new words for his new language.
Well, we could do that right here. I bet we could come up with some great words. Does anybody have a word for ZiNj, for his new language?
Zizomedy.
Zizomedy. What does that mean? Comedy. What's your word?
Zoring.
Zoring. What does that mean?
Teacher.
I like that. One more. What's yours?
Zenka.
Zenka. What does that mean?
For thank you.
Thank you. Those are all great words.
Well, you know, he does know a few words himself.
He does? Like what?
You, what stinks? Someone forgot to wash their feet this morning.
What's a zebra after it's 5 years old?
What's a zebra after it's 5 years old?
6 years old.
6 years old!
Your mom is so skiing, she has to walk around the shower to get wet.
Tell me a joke.
So my buddy and I were fishing one day, and he said it had a bite all day, so I bit him.
Oh!